Hey guys, how's it going? It's Auret here with another Biz Tips Tuesdays episode for you. Today I have another video for you on how to plan for website redesign. Now, a couple weeks ago, I released one that really talked about the first step to redesigning or designing your website, and that is the planning stages of doing your research, figuring out what pages you want, what content you're going to have, all that kind of stuff. And if you haven't seen that, by the way, I'm going to put a link down to that video in the description below. In this video, we're going to talk about the planning part of the design for your website. To put it in a visual perspective for you, if you look on my screen right now, I have the 4 steps for web design. This is an infographic by Auret. I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I probably am, but your infographic just explained it all perfectly, and I don't have my own infographic, so I am using this to share with you the different steps for web design. So first step, which we went over in the previous video, was to plan out. Like I said, it's the research phase to see what you like, what other websites have that you want to emulate or model after, what pages you're going to have, what content. And in that video, we mind mapped the pages that you'll have and the content that you'll have in point form under each of those pages. So that was the first step. Second step here is design. Doing a conceptual layout. I really like to sketch, and I'm going to show you my sketch, which is the same website I've been working on to redesign. That's my music website. So we're going to talk more about that. And finally, the last 2 steps are to develop and deploy. So really the first 2 steps here are the planning stages for redesigning or designing your website. And we're going to look at the second one right now. So whether you're designing the website yourself or you're outsourcing it to a designer, it's going to be really important for you to do this pre-planning step of sketching out what you have envisioned for your website. What is it going to look like? And you would already have some sort of idea by the samples or the websites that you chose that you really like to model after, and that was done in step 1. You likely have some idea of how you want your website to look like, and based on that layout, you're going to sketch out where each piece of your content is going to go. I like to call each content one element. So you'll have a text element here, you'll put your picture element there, you'll have a subscribe button or some sort of call to action element there. So we're really going to sketch this out. And if you're outsourcing to someone, this is going to really help them envision exactly what you have in mind and better execute out on it. Or if you're doing it yourself, this is totally going to help you save time, because once you get into the development mode, it is so easy to veer off track and try new things and, not know deciding what to do when you're actually at your laptop designing your website. It can waste a lot of time. So by having a sketch, by having a plan, you will be using your time a lot more efficiently and hopefully get your website done on time. So the first thing I do before actually visualizing how I'm going to lay everything out on a piece of paper, how I'm going to sketch it out, is I first go and choose a theme. Now, I really love using WordPress for designing all of my websites, so I'm a WordPress person. So the very first thing that I do is go look for a WordPress theme, because that theme will have essentially a layout for me locked in, and all I need to do is go and plug in my pieces. Now, if you're someone who just has a completely unique idea, you want to create something completely from scratch, then you can skip this step and just go straight to sketching it out. But if you want to, simplify things, just basically get a website out that has a layout that you like, then first step is to look for the theme that best represents what you want to do with your website. So how do you do that? Where do you start in terms of finding a theme for your WordPress website? Well, it really comes down to just Googling it. That's what I've done in the past, and I actually ended up finding one particular it's more than a theme. It's actually a platform called Divi. It's a design platform called Divi, but you can install it like a theme on your WordPress site, and within Divi there are a ton of different layout packs, layout templates that you can use to design your website, and it's ready-made out of the box. Everything is done for you. You just click on the template and just plug in your text, plug in your pictures. Super easy to use. And if you don't want to do it exactly like those templates, you can just put in the template and then customize it accordingly to what you want. You don't have to use those same sections. So let me show you what I mean. And again, you don't have to use Divi, but if you are finding a different WordPress theme, I would start on Google by typing in WordPress themes for, and then the next word or phrase is what you are, what you want to do, what kind of website you're designing. So WordPress themes for musicians, WordPress themes for personal development coaches, WordPress themes for athletes, right? Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And then what will come back is a bunch of blog posts that you'll need to look through with pictures. Make sure there's pictures, or you can even do this through video on YouTube. Search on YouTube for this and look through those blog posts, look at the pictures, look at the images, read what features those themes have to make sure it's something that is a good fit for you. Now, this is a time-consuming step. It is in the beginning when I was first designing websites, which was about 10 years ago. No, not 10 years. 7 years ago. This is how I started, was just Googling, finding the right themes accordingly, like so. And then once you get the hang of it, you start to really know the themes that are out there, and you'll start to know what's good for certain types of websites. With Divi, I just really love it because it's so flexible and allows me to design absolutely any kind of website. So let me show you in here what it looks like so you can get an idea. So this is Divi. Again, it's a visual page builder. It's a theme that you can install into your WordPress site, but within this theme there are a ton of different layout packs. At the same time, you can also build anything from scratch. You don't have to use the pre-made layouts, and everything is really cool, super easy to use. Click and type, dragging, and you're designing it as if you see it then and there, which is what I really like, and is just, it makes things easier in terms of giving you templates, but at the same time you can totally customize absolutely anything. So this is Divi, and you guys can check it out if you want. I'll put a link in the description below, but I just wanted to show you because for me, my first step, like I said, and for you, your first step will be to choose a theme, the layout, but for me, it's using Divi, and within that step, I can come in here and choose a layout pack. So that's what I did. I came in here, like I said, they have all these pre-made packs, and when you see something, like they're for different industries, and when you see something you like, for example, I want to see what this design agency layout looks like, you can come in here and see what each one looks like, what each page looks like. Like this is their home, this is the about. So it's easy for you to come in here and plug in your information, your content, and it comes with all of the images that you see. Those are all royalty-free stock images, so you can use them if you want. You can leave them if you don't have your own website, if you don't have your own pictures and you want to use their pictures. So you can do that. You can view the live demo, meaning it'll pop up the entire layout so you can see what it looks like. Let me just show you another one here. So I actually went through all of these. I know that I wanted a big landing page, like a big one like this. So I went right away to look at only those ones. So I didn't really look at these ones with half that header banner part of the website. So I actually ended up choosing this. They don't have a music layout, but so I had to kind of get creative, but they had this restaurant pack, and I'll show you the live demo here. This is what it looked like. What I looked for is, does this theme have the right layout? Does this theme have the right fonts and color scheme that I want? Because I want whatever I choose to do most of the work for me, and then I will do the minimal amount of work as possible to plug in my content. So that's what I was looking for. And as you can see, this layout is very black and white, minimalist, clean, has a really cool grid here, and that is kind of what I was looking for, what I liked from doing the research in step 1, seeing what kind of websites I liked, what layouts I liked. And so once you decide on what theme or layout you're going to use, you can then use this as a skeleton, as a template for then going ahead and making your sketch. So to give you an idea, I'll put the sketch up on the screen. Here it is, so you can take a look. This is just something that, you know, again, don't spend too much time on trying to really figure out if it can be done or how it can be done. You have the layout in front of you, go through each section of that layout and decide what you want. So that's what I did. I looked at this restaurant layout and I'm like, okay, so first thing is the menu at the top. What pages do I want to have show up? So I decided bio, music, news, and I made little notes beside each of them, letting me know where that will lead to or what will be in that. And then next in the layout, I have this huge space to work with, whether it's a picture. I knew for sure that I wanted a video playing in the background, so I wrote BG, video playing, background video playing. And instead of the title being in the middle, like the original layout has, I want it to be off the side so that they can see the video more. So I sketched that in, I made that sketch there, and those two little squares that you see there are buttons for call to action, and I wrote on the side there some ideas of where I wanted those buttons to go. Next section below, on the layout, they had an about section, so that's where I decided to put my bio, and I just, you know, did some lines to show text, my story, and then I know that I wanted an image off to the side. The next section, you see how I kind of basically what I did was I looked at the layout and then planned out what I was going to do on my website with each section. All down to the bottom there where you see I have, I wanted that grid that we saw originally on the layout to be how I display my music, my best songs. So that's why I wrote song 1, song 2, and what I wanted as well on the other squares, so the names of the titles of the songs, the genres. And this step of sketching out the design as well as looking at the layout that you chose will become a lot easier once you've done that first step of mind mapping out all your content. Because I already did that mind map where I knew what content I wanted in my about section, in my music section. For me, I'm creating sections on the page. It's going to be one long page where if they click on the about, it will just go down to that section on the same page. So that's why I'm saying sections instead of separate pages. But for you, it might be planning out the content on each page. So the about page, the contact page, etc. So we already created that mind map. We know what content is going to go in each of those pages or sections. So when you come into this sketch, you basically are plugging in those pieces, those elements into each page or section. So for you, your sketch might look different because mine is more like a one-page thing where they get to see those different sections all in one place. For you, you might want to have one page per page on your website. So sketch out what the about page will look like, then take a new sheet for what the contact page will look like, then take a new sheet for describing your product or service, etc. And because I did these steps, I did all the pre-planning. So first video was the purpose, coming up with the purpose of the website, doing the mind mapping, researching what other websites I looked to get a feel for the design. And then in this step, it's choosing the layout or theme that already has most of what I want in it, and then sketching out exactly where I'm going to plug in those different content pieces, those content elements. Because I've done that, it's made the design part, step 3, the development phase, so much easier. I've actually started designing my website and just want to give you guys a sneak peek. So you've seen what the original template looks like here for the restaurant. And now let me show you a little sneak peek on how it's all coming together. Again, I'm not done designing this yet. I'm just in the beginning stages, but I've roughly laid out the menu there. I got to get rid of that. And as you can see, view menu, reservations, not for me, but I'm going to change all that. But you can see it's coming to life. I have my video here. I have my about section here, my story, just as I sketched it out, right? I have a section here with my music, a little bit about my music, and then like we had it laid out, that little grid, I wanted to have my songs in each little box with a description. So it's coming together, guys. It's really, I think it's really encouraging to see that what you're sketching out, what you're designing in your pre-planning stages can absolutely come to life, and it makes it so much easier when you do get to that development stage in redesigning your website. So if you haven't already, make sure you do the groundwork. Again, I'm going to link to that first video that I created in the description below so you can go back and check that out if you haven't already. I'm also going to put a link down to the Divi theme, which is what I'm using, like I said, to build my website, so you guys can check it out and see if it's a right fit for you. So let me know, guys, if this has been helpful for you. I might also create, I haven't decided if I'm going to create another video on actually the design part, which is what I'm doing now. It's still not done, so I can still create a video on designing within Divi. Let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in by leaving me a comment down below this video. And as always, if you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Back from the dead.